Today on Cruise Revealed, picture this. You've saved up for months, maybe even years for your dream cruise vacation. You're finally on board. The ocean breeze is perfect. The buffet looks incredible. And somewhere between day 2 and day 3, you're spending the rest of your trip glued to the bathroom. That's not a vacation. That's a nightmare. And the worst part? It was completely preventable. Here's the thing nobody tells you before you board that ship. Right now, norovirus outbreaks on cruise ships are at their highest levels in nearly 2 decades. Not because passengers forgot basic hygiene, but because they had no idea which foods were quietly working against them. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the foods you should never eat on a cruise ship. Some of these are going to genuinely surprise you. Stick with me through all 10, because the last one happens in your own cabin and most people never even think about it. Number 1. Raw shellfish. Let's start at the raw bar because this is where so many cruise ship health stories begin. You walk past the buffet on day 3 or 4 and there they are. Oysters and mussels arranged beautifully on ice, looking like something out of a 5-star seafood restaurant. Fresh, luxurious, safe. Except here's what you don't know. Those shellfish were loaded onto that ship at the very beginning of the voyage. Unless the vessel pulled into port that very morning, you're potentially looking at shellfish that have been stored for anywhere between 3 and 5 days. Shellfish are among the highest risk foods for norovirus transmission even under ideal conditions, and cruise buffets are far from ideal. Ice melts, trays get moved around. The cold chain, that unbroken sequence of proper refrigeration, gets disrupted constantly in a busy buffet environment. The safe internal cooking temperature for shellfish is at least 145 degrees. Raw shellfish at a buffet will never hit that number. Walk past it every single time. Number 2. Buffet sushi. This is something that genuinely catches people off guard because sushi has a reputation for being a healthy, sophisticated choice. But on a cruise buffet, the danger isn't actually the fish, it's the rice underneath it. Real sushi restaurants acidify their rice with vinegar, which actively inhibits bacterial growth. That's a fundamental part of sushi preparation that most people don't know about. Cruise buffets frequently use plain white rice that sits at room temperature for extended periods. That warm, moist, starchy environment is practically a 5-star hotel for bacteria like Bacillus cereus. And then add the tongs. Passengers handle other foods, touch the rice, brush against the fish, and drop those tongs right back into the tray. If you genuinely love sushi on a cruise, spend the extra money at the specialty restaurant where food is prepared fresh to order. The free buffet version is simply not worth the gamble. Number 3. Citrus garnishes. This is something most people grab without thinking twice. The lemon or lime wedge sitting on the rim of their drink, it looks harmless, it looks refreshing. But studies conducted in hospitality environments have consistently found that citrus garnishes are among the most contaminated items behind the bar. Think about what a bartender does throughout a shift. They handle cash, wipe down glasses with bar rags, touch surfaces all over the station, and then without washing their hands, they reach into the garnish tray and place that wedge on your glass. Beyond that, the fruit itself is rarely washed before it gets sliced. The outer skin of citrus fruit carries whatever was on the surface it touched from farm to ship to bar. Your drink ends up sitting in contact with everything that bartender handled all evening. The fix is simple. Just say no to the garnish. Your cocktail will taste exactly the same. Number 4. Soft serve ice cream machines. Now let's talk about something that lives in almost every cruise ship pool deck, the soft serve ice cream machine. These machines are supposed to be fully disassembled and sanitized every single night. That's not a suggestion, that's the food safety standard, and it takes hours to do properly. On ships that are running with understaffed kitchens, which happens more often than cruise lines want to admit, the cleaning process gets rushed or skipped entirely. The dark internal tubing of a soft serve machine is a perfect environment for mold to develop when cleaning is inadequate. Before you ever pull that handle, look at the nozzle area. If there's any residue, any buildup, any discoloration, step away. Number 5. Chocolate fountain. The chocolate fountain. It looks elegant, it looks indulgent, it looks like the highlight of the dessert section. But what you're actually looking at is a recirculating system. The chocolate that flows over those tiers doesn't disappear. It drains down, gets collected at the base, and gets pumped right back up to the top. Whatever enters that system, whether it's a child's finger, airborne bacteria from a nearby sneeze, or food particles from other items, it just keeps cycling through. Warm sugar is one of the most effective bacterial breeding environments that exists. The entire design of a chocolate fountain is, from a food safety perspective, deeply problematic. If it flows and recirculates in a shared public setting, it should not be on your plate. Number 6. Condiment pumps. Moving on to number 6, and this one is everywhere. The pump dispenser. Ketchup, mustard, mayo, hot sauce, all of it sitting in pumps that are grabbed by thousands of hands every single day. People come from the pool, they come from the bathroom, they come from touching handrails all over the ship, and then they pump their condiment without a second thought. The nozzle might get a quick wipe for appearances, but the handle itself almost never gets properly disinfected. If you can get individual packets, ask for them. Number 7. Buffett scrambled eggs. Number 7 brings us to the breakfast buffet, scrambled eggs sitting under the heat lamps. Here's what most passengers don't realize. Those aren't typically fresh, cracked eggs. They're often prepared from liquid egg mixture or reconstituted powder. But the real danger isn't the texture, it's the temperature. Scrambled eggs sit in the danger zone where bacteria multiply rapidly. Instead, go to the omelet station. Number 8, reheated meats. Number 8 is something that sounds comforting but hides a significant issue: meat stews and curries. These are often made from leftovers, roasts that didn't sell, steaks that went unclaimed. They get cooled down, stored overnight, chopped up, and reheated. Each time meat passes through that temperature danger zone, bacteria multiply. If you want meat, choose freshly carved options. Number 9 is the late night pizza station. But before you grab that slice, look at it carefully. Is the cheese stiff? Does the crust look dried out? Heat lamps create an uneven temperature environment. If something looks like it's been there for a while, ask for a fresh pie. Number 10, cabin ice bucket. And number 10 is the one that happens before you even leave your cabin, the ice bucket. Investigations have documented cases where the same cleaning cloth used on bathroom surfaces was also used inside the ice bucket. That's direct cross-contamination. Use it for bottles if you want. But for ice that goes into your drink, go to the buffet dispenser. So now you know. These are the foods that can quietly derail your entire cruise. Knowing this information puts you in control. You can still enjoy the incredible food that cruise ships offer. The goal isn't to be afraid. The goal is to eat smart. If you want to avoid even bigger mistakes before your trip, watch the video on your screen right now from Cruise Revealed, where I break down 25 items you should never bring on a cruise. And if you want more tips like this, subscribe, because once you know this, you cruise smarter.